Hi, Vijaya. How are you?
Doing well, Samantha. So, as an asylum applicant, am I allowed to travel outside the US?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And it's not just asylum applicants, but it's people who were granted asylum and people
Mhm.
who maybe were granted asylum and then applied for green cards. We get this question all the time because, to keep, something to keep in mind is that when you're filing for asylum, you're telling the government that not only is your home country not safe to be in, but that there's no other country that's safe for you and there's nowhere that you can be safely residing.
Yeah.
But when you're applying for asylum and when you're applying for a green card and as a green card holder, you do have the ability to travel under, certain requirements. So that's why it's important to kind of keep everything in mind. So as an asylum applicant, you can travel while your case is pending only if you receive advance parole first. If you travel without the advance parole, your case will be abandoned. But still keep in mind that re-entry is discretionary. So CBP may ask you questions about where you were and what your trip was about. Same with if you were granted asylum, if you're an asylee, you can
Hmm.
travel only if you have a refugee travel document. Again, it's discretionary when you come back. And as a green card holder who got their green card through asylum, you can travel with a refugee travel document. But there
Hmm.
are some potential consequences, and so I kind of want to just make sure our listeners are aware of that. So
Yes.
obviously, an asylum applicant who leaves without advance parole, um, you know, their case is abandoned.
Hmm.
But if they're returned to the country that they're claiming persecution from, not only will the case be abandoned, but we could be running into a potential fraud issue there. So, for example, the asylum status could be terminated unless there were if there were changed circumstances that
Hmm.
now the country is safe for them to be in. It also could potentially lead to the government thinking that maybe, your entire asylum case was not truthful or valid. So
Hmm.
it's important to keep that in mind. And, you know, if it is determined that it was a fraudulent asylum case, not only would you be subject to a removal order or deportation order, but it could lead to a permanent bar for any form of relief ever in the future.
Wow.
So I do understand, and we do get these questions very often. I am an asylum applicant or I got asylum.
Yeah.
How can I travel? I have an ill family member. What am I supposed to do? And of course, there's circumstances where we can, maybe work out a solution, but our recommendation has always been to try and avoid any travel until you're a citizen because
Yeah.
at every stage of the process that asylum is being reviewed. So
Yes.
even if you're a green card holder applying for citizenship, they're going to review the basis of your green card. And by doing that, they may look into all of your travel history and they may look to see where you've been, and all of this can come up. So of course, it's our recommendation for any listeners to not travel
Yeah.
until they've received their citizenship. But if something does arise, it's really, really, really important that you review all of that with an attorney to make sure that your travel is safe to do,
Safe. Hmm.
and it won't impact you moving forward.
Very rightly put. Thank you for that, Samantha. So there, folks, you have it. The road to immigration, US or Canadian, can be long and arduous, and you want to have the best advocate rooting for you and helping you through. That's the NPZ Law Group for you. Visit them at